Okay, welcome back to our Term 2 Grade 9 Maths lesson. I am Mrs. Rhea, your Maths teacher. Okay, in today's lesson, we are going to look at statistics. Okay, what is statistics? Statistics is collecting of information or data, and it is sorting out and displaying of data. Now, what is data? Okay, data is information that is collected by measuring, by counting, doing research, and making analysis. Therefore, we are going to look at the steps which are taken to collect and display data. We'll start with discrete data. Okay, we call it discrete numerical data. Discrete numerical data is data that is collected by counting. Let's look at an example of how discrete numerical data can be collected and displayed on a graph. Let's say we have 10 students which were selected from a class of 40 students, and they were asked of their favorite sports. 10 students preferred rugby, while 8 students preferred football. Okay, 5 students preferred netball. 2 students preferred tennis. Okay, this information was displayed on a graph, and for discrete numerical data is usually displayed on a bar graph. Okay, let's look at what a bar graph looks like. When you are drawing a graph, you must have a title. Okay, so the title of our graph is favorite sports. Okay, favorite sports. Usually on the vertical axis, we put down the number of students, or we say frequency. So we have number of students on the vertical axis, and on the horizontal axis, we have the sports. Okay. So, number of students, since the highest score is 10, we start from 2, then 4, 6, 8, 10. Now, we have to have a key. So, we have R for rugby. We have F for football. We have N for netball. And we have T for tennis. Okay. So, with a bar graph, there is always a space in between. So, we have R for rugby, space in between, F for football, space in between, N for netball, extend this line, and space in between, and T for tennis. Then I display it using the bars. We have 10 for rugby. So I'll have to draw a bar which extends all the way up to 10. For football, that's 8. Okay, so again, extends up to 8. Oops, my bar is not straight. Then for netball, we have 5. 5 is between 4 and 6. Somewhere here, the midpoint of 4 and 6. It's 5. Okay, that's for netball. And 2 for tennis. Okay, so this is how you display your discrete numerical data on a bar graph. Okay, now we are going to look at the next one, which is displaying of continuous numerical data. Continuous numerical data is data that is collected by measuring. Okay. We have continuous numerical data. Okay, information that is collected by measuring. Let's say we have students who were asked to measure their heights. Okay, so we had again 10 students which had heights from 130 to 134. 2 students who had heights of 135 to 139, and 5 students who had heights from 140 centimeters to 144 centimeters, and 3 students who had heights ranging from 145 to 149. Now, we'll have to display the continuous numerical data on a graph. This time when we are displaying continuous numerical data, we display that on a histogram. Okay? So, again, I will have to have a title of my graph. So, title will be heights of students. Okay, on my vertical axis, I will have the number of students. Okay, on my vertical axis, I will have the heights. Okay, so I'll start with 130 to 134, then 135 to 139, 140 to 144, and 145 to 149. Now, many of us are wondering why we have a class interval. Why we have class interval? Because when we are using continuous numerical or collecting information for continuous numerical data, we use what we call measuring instruments, which have the units and the scale units and the scale divisions, which are not whole numbers. They could be centimeters and millimeters involved. So if it's 130.1, then it has to come in between a class interval of 130 to 134. That's the reason why we have the data sorted out into classes. Okay, let's look at the first one. This symbol here indicates that there are numbers from 0 up to 134. So we use the symbol here to indicate that this 130 is just another number that starts from 0 all the way up to 130. So there are numbers in between that are missing, and we start from 130. Now, on the vertical axis, we start with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, because again, we have 10 as the highest number for the students, so we start from 2 all the way up to 10. Now, 130 to 134, we have 10 students. So, okay, from 135 to 139, 2 students. 140 to 144, 5 students. Okay, 5 will be somewhere in between 4 and 6. Okay. And then the last one, 3. 145 to 149. Somewhere in between here. Okay, so this is for the heights. Okay, we must always label the axis. Now, this is a bar graph which displays the graph of the continuous numerical data. Now, why I am introducing you to graphs is because they are going to be very useful when we come to measures of central tendency. We can find the mode, the average, and the range from the graph. And with this histogram, if it comes to cumulative frequency graphs, this will be very, very important. So I am now just introducing you to the graph so that we can use them as we go further into our lessons in statistics. Thank you very much, and that brings us to the end of our lesson.